Hi, Mystery Recapped here. Today, I'm going to explain a Japanese comedy fantasy film called Assassination Classroom. Spoilers ahead. Watch out and take care. The movie opens up as an unknown person destroys 70% of the moon with a single explosion. Because of the catastrophe, the world goes into a state of utter panic. The Japanese military is the first one to react, and when they reach a suspected hideout, a mysterious tentacled being eliminates them one by one. The movie then shifts to Kunigigaoka High School, where the principal is making a major announcement. He says that from now on, the worst students in the school, i.e. Class 3E, will relocate to a mountainside cottage so that they cannot disturb the others. It is then revealed that the 3E students are often mocked and treated as undesirables because of their poor grades.
Just go to the mountains or something, you friggin' idiots!
The protagonist, Nagisa Shiota, is also a student of the same class, but he doesn't mind being taught separately. He simply wants to finish high school and get a job as soon as he can. Later, Nagisa, along with his classmates, go to their new classroom, only to be shocked at finding out who their new teacher is. It is none other than Koro-sensei, the tentacled mutant creature that apparently is responsible for the moon's destruction. Here, it is revealed that the entire class is actually designed by the Japanese government in their attempt to kill Koro-sensei. The tentacled monster is promised to eviscerate Earth in exactly a year. However, he is giving the government a chance to assassinate him. As part of the deal, Koro-sensei will get to teach the students for a year, and they can attack him as much as they can with special knives and pellets. Koro-sensei will not retaliate, he will just block the attacks and make sure that the students are safe. So, now, the fate of the world is in the hands of the students. They have to somehow find a way to kill Koro-sensei before they graduate. As of now, they have no combat skills, so they are assisted by a government-affiliated agent, Tadayomi Karasuma. When the class begins, Koro-sensei tells the students that he just signed a management contract with the school to teach the students for a year. He has promised not to harm them, but the students can attempt to kill him. The one who succeeds will be awarded 10 million yen. The teaching assistant, Karasuma, adds that Koro-sensei is very fast in speed, and that the students might not be able to challenge him. He reminds them that they have to plan extraordinarily to succeed in their goals. He also demonstrates some fighting skills with his knives and guns. However, Koro-sensei effortlessly grabs the knife from Karasuma and cuts one of his tentacles. The creature feels no pain whatsoever, and in this instance it becomes apparent that Koro-sensei is extremely mighty. Additionally, he has the ability to regenerate his body parts, but the more time it takes for him to regenerate, the more his speed will decrease. This is the only apparent weakness he has. The next day, students begin their duty to kill their new teacher. They use their own sets of guns and target him with all their might. However, Koro-sensei is so fast that he dodges all of the bullets without even breaking a sweat. All this while, Nagisa notes his teacher's mood in hopes of observing his emotions and pouncing at the right moment. Some of the bullies notice him and insist that he work with them instead of planning the murder alone. Nagisa complies, and after a bit of planning, he fearfully approaches Koro-sensei with a knife in hand. As expected, the latter catches wind of the attack and repels it easily. However, Nagisa has a backup plan too. He abruptly hugs Koro-sensei, and this is when the alien realizes that the boy is in possession of explosive materials. The very next second, a loud explosion startles the class. The bullies cheer in victory, thinking that they killed the alien, and thus will be awarded the prize money. They don't even go to check if their friend is alright. But suddenly, when the dust clears, the bullies notice a mysterious coating that shield Nagisa from the explosives. Moreover, the alien is surprisingly alive and well. He jumped onto the ceiling in a fraction of a second, but not before saving Nagisa from the danger. The alien cheerfully reveals that he sheds his skin every year, just like a snake. This thing is goddamn terrifying. However, his mood soon changes. Koro-sensei grows furious. Okay, scarier now. As he tells the students that they broke their contract agreement. The students weren't allowed to use any explosives to kill him. They were only to use guns. Today, they almost got one of their friends killed. The alien decides to excuse the students this time, but if they are to repeat the same mistake once more, he will surely harm their family members. The following day, when the alien is outside, a student manages to distract him and put him in a net. She then points her gun at him but isn't able to get a proper shot as Koro-sensei moves at full speed even though he's trapped in a net. Just then, a new student arrives at the scene. He is Karma Akabane, a grade A student who has recently come out of his suspension. Karma was apparently punished for instigating a fight, but in reality, he was just protecting his friend from a bunch of bullies. Now, despite being a brilliant student, he is forced to study in the notorious Class 3E. In the next scene, Karma introduces himself to everyone and proposes to shake hands with his teacher. Obliging to the request, Koro-sensei extends his tentacles, but as soon as he does so, he feels a sharp pain. Karma then reveals that he had some blades pasted on his palm, which caused the wound. With this, he is the first student who is able to harm the alien. As time passes by, Karma attempts to kill the alien teacher in various ways. Sadly, none of his techniques work out. One day, as Karma is sitting alone, Nagisa approaches him and the two have a personal chat. Karma reveals that he doesn't care about the award money. He just wants to finish off Koro-sensei and rid the world from his terror. Just then, the alien also arrives at the scene. Karma asks him if he is a good teacher who supports his students when they are in trouble, or a bad teacher who never cares about them. Saying this, he jumps off a cliff while holding a gun in his hand. Karma's plan is simple. He knows that Koro-sensei will try to save him, and for that, he will have to slow down. This will give Karma the perfect chance to shoot him in the head and finish him off once and for all. Badass. However, to his dismay, the clever alien quickly rushes down, changes his form into a web, and saves Karma from an apparent death. Following this, we are taken to a military meeting. It has been 2 months since Koro-sensei's attack on the moon. With increasing pressure, several countries have been launching nuclear missiles on Japan to destroy Koro-sensei. However, for some reason, the alien himself has been taking care of the missiles and saving the country from any potential blast. The assistant teacher, Karasuma, who is also in the meeting, tells his chief that they will have to send another student to Class 3E, since the current ones aren't able to kill Koro-sensei. The next day, we are introduced to Ritsu, an AI box displaying the form of a girl. She is loaded with powerful weapons that are specially designed to kill Koro-sensei. While the alien teacher begins his class with other students, Ritsu locks her target and immediately begins firing. Unsurprisingly, Koro-sensei manages to save himself, but the other students are scared to death as they hide under tables to protect themselves. When everything is settled, the students confront Ritsu and quickly tie her with metal chains as she is a threat to everyone in the class. Later, Koro-sensei approaches Ritsu and explains that her wrath is what made the situation escalate quickly. She should have worked with the other students to kill him. Therefore, Ritsu transforms into an application and gets herself downloaded into every student's mobile phone. She also shares a message of unity, which helps her gain the acceptance and trust of her fellow students. In the next scene, another new student joins Class 3E. His name is Itona Horibe, a tiny blonde-haired boy who claims to be the blood brother of Koro-sensei. To everyone's surprise, he can also unleash tentacles from his body. Okay, I'm getting pumped. His trainer, who is in a cloaked uniform, informs the class that Itona has exceptional fighting skills. He is so deadly that he can even finish off Koro-sensei. The latter takes this as a challenge, so he decides to fight the boy. Shortly after, amidst loud cheers from the students, the fight between Koro-sensei and Itona begins. The alien teacher is distressed to see that the student has the same tentacles as him. He believes that Itona is one of his distant family members, so he decides to go easy, but the boy takes advantage of this and manages to wound him. Enraged, Koro-sensei quickly regains his composure and unleashes a powerful strike, which sends Itona out of the classroom, hence defeating him. All the students are ecstatic to see him win, and they congratulate him happily. In this way, despite being their ultimate target, Koro-sensei is able to bond with Class 3E, who in turn regard him as their indispensable teacher. Talk about Stockholm syndrome. One day, Karasuma's position as an assistant teacher is briefly replaced by his rival, Akira Takaoka, who is very tough on students. In one of his sessions, a student says that she cannot train anymore as she is very tired. Hearing this, Akira becomes furious and attempts to assault her.
Damn, Akira, chill!
Thankfully, Karasuma arrives just in time to stop him. The two rivals berate each other for a while, and Akira promises that he will leave the school. The only catch is that one of the Class 3E students will have to touch him with a knife. Karasuma accepts the challenge, and he decides to send out Nagisa. All the students also gather around and watch nervously. They believe that Nagisa is no match for the skillful teacher. However, to their surprise, the quiet boy cleverly distracts Akira with a devious smile, and the then pounces on him with the knife, thereby winning the challenge. One day, it suddenly starts raining, and Nagisa notices that Koro-sensei is acting a little different today. He observes that the alien teacher's body has also begun to swell because of the rain. This makes Nagisa realize that Koro-sensei is allergic to water. Before the finals, Koro-sensei promises that the top scorers of the 5 academic subjects, chemistry, English, home economics, Japanese, and maths, will be awarded the chance to cut his rubber-like tentacles, which will greatly slow him. Hearing this, the students are pleased, as it will surely make their assassination attempt a lot easier. In the following days, Koro-sensei helps the students with their studies, and also takes them to space and shows them around the world. When the results for the finals are out, a total of 6 students are able to top the finals, as 2 of them get the same marks in home economics. However, Koro-sensei is not bothered a bit. He just wants some challenge, as he is starting to get bored now. On the day when he is supposed to be assassinated, Class 3E manages to bind Koro-sensei, thanks to Nagisa's observation of his weakness, water. They shoot down his tentacles one by one. However, when they are about to land the final shot, Koro-sensei causes an explosion. When the dust clears, it is revealed that he has transformed himself into an impenetrable ball. As the students watch in shock, suddenly, half of them start dropping unconscious. A vengeful Akira then arrives there and reveals that he was the one who poisoned the students. He is accompanied by the blonde boy, Itona, who turns out to be his disciple. Fortunately, before things can escalate, Nagisa and Karma team up and incapacitate Itona by luring him into open rain and subsequently cutting his tentacles. However, they are alerted by Ritsu that Akira has kidnapped one of their classmates. He is now threatening to kill her unless Koro-sensei is handed over. But this time, Class 3E is having none of it. With a simple trick, they turn the tables around and defeat Akira effortlessly. They then angrily spill mud all over him while cursing at him for being a bad teacher. On the other hand, the AI, Ritsu, creates antidotes for the students and nurses them back to health. Shortly after, the government officials arrive at the school. Seeing that Koro-sensei is vulnerable, they take him and proceed to do a public execution in front of his grieving students. The alien teacher, who is still in the form of a ball, is chained in a room, which is inside a very concrete dome full of explosives. As the students watch the live execution, Koro-sensei delivers his last goodbye message. He conveys that he is grateful his students were able to defeat him. This shows that they are strong and eligible enough to fend for themselves. This achievement is more than enough for a teacher like him to be happy. Moments after, there is an explosion, and as the military cheers for their success, the students start weeping as they have lost their favorite teacher. Nagisa is the one affected the most, and as he cries profusely, someone passes a napkin from behind. It is none other than Koro-sensei, who somehow survived the attempted killing. Seeing him alive, the government ultimately gives up on their project and lets him continue teaching Class 3E for the next term. The movie ends as the blonde little boy, Itona, also enrolls in the same class. The world is doomed. Subscribe for more videos like this, turn on notifications, and leave a like to help the channel out. Thank you for watching.